travel films, action content or cinematic fly-throughs, this drone is immediately interesting. I flew it for the past 3 months through Madeira, China and Lapland and want to share with you what this drone can actually do. The full review with all the specs is coming on March 26th, so make sure to subscribe. The first thing you'll notice is the camera, because it's got this single lens in the front, but if you turn it like this, you actually get 360 footage because you've got 2 times the same camera. You will notice every time you launch the drone, you have to put it like this, and once it's up in the air, it will automatically switch the cameras to the 360 mode. And so this is the special thing about this drone. It can shoot 360 videos. You fly once and suddenly that one flight can become multiple usable perspective. A more cinematic angle, a more action heavy angle or a social media friendly angle. And you can also better transition between different scenes because you've got this 360 perspective and you can keyframe the movements. So it kind of feels like a cheat code. And that's what impressed me the most about the 360 footage, that you can just use one shot and create multiple angles. As on any 360 camera, you will lose some quality, but it really just depends what you use this drone for, and still you got this single lens mode. I also got the thing wet with salt water and it was totally fine. I flew it through rain, through humid weather, and this drone can handle it easily. Obviously, you have to take care to not get too many water drops on the lenses because you will just see them in 360 footage, but the drone really can handle that. And now, obviously, I'm not going to tell you to abuse your gear, but from a first impression standpoint, it really gives you confidence. I already had this confidence with my previous DJI drones because I flew them through the craziest weather. If you want to know how to edit 360 videos of this drone or how to color grade them, make sure to check the first link in the description. Now, talking about transmission, which is a huge point because that's where some FPV drones can show strict limits. But with the Avata 360, I had one clip in particular where I was like, okay, that's impressive. I was flying through the forest behind trees and rocks and the connection just stood stable until the end. And again, I'm staying away from the spec sheet for now because I have to, but in actual use, this felt, as always, like proper DJI product. And size-wise, it's sitting in a really interesting place too. As you can see, the Avata is a bit smaller, like in every angle, from the width and from the length. From the height, the 360 drone is better. And if you compare it to the Neo, it's a huge difference as well. Actually, so funny to see that right now. However, again, not talking about any specs for now, but if you just have a look at the camera, you can just visually see that it might have improved as well. Just look at this. 3 different camera sizes. So I'm really excited to tell you more about that soon. Obviously, it doesn't feel like a toy. It looks more like the Avata 2, but it's actually very different from the Avata 2. More on that on March 26. And honestly, that surprised me a bit, but I got used to it pretty quickly and it's a fun drone. There are also other things around the whole package that made a really good first impression on me. First, the obstacle awareness. You can see some sensors here in the front, on the bottom, and even these few sensors are enough for some really good obstacle sensing. That really gives you some peace of mind. Also, you can replace the lenses on this drone, and this is a really huge point for all 360 cameras because they're really sensitive when it comes to small scratches. You usually already see the smallest scratches in your footage. Over the past 3 months, I crashed this drone 2 times, and only on the second crash I got some very small scratches. However, you can't see them in the footage, so I didn't replace them yet. You can do it, and that's super helpful and good to know. You also got some different control options. So for the goggles, you can use the N3 and the Goggles 3, which is what I've used. For the controller, you can actually use the DJI RC2 or the RC Motion 3. So this was for the pre-release firmware that I've used in the past months. You will be able on release to use the FPV Remote Controller 3 as well, in normal and sports mode. So it's really easy and immersive to fly this drone. Right now what I can say is that the available flight experience is already enough to understand what DJI is going for here. And even in the past 3 months, in a pre-release state, the drone offered some amazing capabilities. Because the real selling point is not how extreme can I fly this, it's more like how can you creatively use 360 footage and how much can you create with one take. And on that front, it already feels very strong. Obviously, there's the anti-gravity A1 in this whole conversation that we all will compare it to. And I can't go deep into that just yet. But what I can say is DJI clearly didn't come into this category in second place. There are features and ideas here that make it very clear they want to push the space or the limits in the space. So will this be one of the most exciting creative DJI drones that have been made so far? Probably yes, because it changes the way you think about getting the shot. Full reviews coming soon, but for now, the first impression of this is DJI might have something very, very special here. See you soon, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious to see if you plan to get this drone and what you think about it. Happy flying, see you on the next one.